again. It's a redskin.
What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today we've got a Chicago Bulls weekly episode for you guys, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue the progress of what we started in the previous week, an unbelievably strong previous week for the Chicago Bulls, and we take it to the next step as we focus on the upcoming week for the Chicago Bulls. It is a lot lighter of a week, I should say, for the Chicago Bulls this time around, and it's going to be interesting to see how well we go, just considering how strong we really were in our previous week. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Chicago Bulls previous week, the awards that we'll give out, who deserves what, and obviously the upcoming week for the Bulls, as we have a very exciting period coming up where we've got some really difficult games, some really challenging games, and these are the games that I think everybody wants to see the Chicago Bulls play, just to prove themselves again even further to the rest of the league. We've already proven that we are a great team, and I don't think anybody can deny that for us now. But it's a time to take the next step and prove we really are contenders in this league. Let's go and see if we can do it. Obviously, this week might not show that, but the week after that is definitely the start of it. So we ended up having 5 games this week, or this previous week, for the Chicago Bulls. And ladies and gentlemen, we went 5-0. We went undefeated this previous week, which is unbelievably strong for the Chicago Bulls. And I said it in last week's Chicago Bulls Weekly. If we ended up going 5-0, I'd be truly stunned, and it'd be a fantastic feat for the Chicago Bulls. To play 5 games in 7 days and win all 5 games, knowing that it's going to be a very busy week, we don't have all of our players back, and we're going to end up being tired towards the end of the stretch. And that's exactly what happened. But through all of that, we did win all of these games. Starting off with the first game against the Indiana Pacers, ladies and gentlemen. We won this game 113-105. This game came off of pretty much a week's break for the Chicago Bulls. Their last game was against the Houston Rockets, and then they had a week rest, well rested, and we ended up winning and beating the Indiana Pacers. This is a very good game for the Chicago Bulls. Vucevic, Levine, DeRozan, all of them had pretty solid nights. I don't really remember too much about this game, to be honest, because we've had such a huge momentum swing and such huge historic moments that it kind of made me forget a lot about what this game presented to us. But again, we did win the game, and this was a good revenge game to have for the Chicago Bulls. I remember the Pacers made a strong run towards the end, and the Bulls held them off. And I'm pretty sure that is something that we always want to see. We always want to see the Bulls manage games and maintain leads, and we did that in this game against the Indiana Pacers. Then we moved to the Atlanta Hawks away from home. This was a back-to-back, and we won this game 130-118. DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, Nikola Vucevic, all with unbelievably strong games for the Chicago Bulls. Kobe White and Io kind of played a factor in it as well. The bench was strong, a very well-balanced game, and we walked away with a pretty convincing victory away from home. Vucevic had a strong fourth quarter. This was the game where he had pretty much his history-breaking stat line with the 24 points, 6 rebounds, 24 points, 6 assists, 17 rebounds with 4 blocks. An unbelievably strong stat line. And again, this was a game where DeMar had 30 and 10, Zach had 30 and 9. Unbelievably strong game for all of those players, and we did have a really strong game in that one. Then our next game against the Atlanta Hawks at home, and arguably I think we had a better game this time around, where we beat the Atlanta Hawks 131-117. A very similar scoreline for both of these teams, but this game the Bulls were really in control the whole time. Against the Atlanta Hawks in the last game, it was a bit of an up and down, and the Bulls kind of secured it in the second half. For this game, the Chicago Bulls were pretty much up for the majority of the game, and we never looked back in that game. Probably the best game of the week for the Chicago Bulls in terms of the dominance of the game, the managing of the game, being able to secure a dominant victory, and all of that. This is by far the best game for the Chicago Bulls this week. But ladies and gentlemen, the 2 games that we're going to be talking about next was truly mesmerizing and unbelievable to watch. The next game against the Indiana Pacers, this one was away from home, and we won this game 108-106 with a pure and utter unbelievable shot from DeMar DeRozan to end the game against the Indiana Pacers. A one-legged fadeaway three-pointer over 2 defenders won the game for the Chicago Bulls. Nothing but net. One of the prettiest shots you'll ever see, but also the shot selection was I mean, again, I said it in the video, I was really questioning that shot selection, and then it goes in. So at the end of the day, no one's going to complain about that. It's an historic buzzer beater, one that will go down in Bulls history for pretty much the rest of time, in my opinion, especially with the next game after it. Those two games was truly unbelievable. And of course, the game we just had against the Washington Wizards, we won 120 to 119. And this was arguably a game where the Bulls played very, very poorly. And I thought the Wizards played okay. The Wizards dominated the paint. We had a lot of turnovers. Our defense wasn't really ready to play. And we ended up winning this game with another buzzer beater in the corner with a pump fake over two defenders. DeMar DeRozan scores a three-point shot. 2 back-to-backs in 2 consecutive days. DeMar DeRozan is the only player to have 2 back-to-back games with 2 buzzer beaters. The other one was Larry Bird, but he did have a game rest compared to his next game. This was a pure back-to-back and 2 pure buzzer beaters from DeMar DeRozan. Heart in your mouth type moments, ladies and gentlemen, as we completely and utterly took away the heart and the heartbreaking moments, I guess you could say, for the Wizards and the Pacers. It was truly there, and DeMar DeRozan broke some hearts in those last 2 games and definitely got a lot of hearts pumped up and ready if you're a Chicago Bulls fan. Let's look at the awards, ladies and gentlemen. Looking at the must improve of the week, it's very hard to go around to pick one must improve for this upcoming week because, again, at the beginning of the week, you could have said it would have been Kobe White. And Kobe White had an unbelievably strong 3 weeks or 3 games for the Chicago Bulls against the Hawks, the Pacers, and the Wizards. He was truly strong. And without him, we probably don't win those games. So he was unbelievable in those 3 games. You can't really say Nikola Vucevic. You can't say Zach LaVine. You definitely can't say DeMar DeRozan. You look at the bench, you're thinking maybe a Troy Brown Jr., maybe an Io for the last 2 games. But again, I thought they both played well. So I'm not going to give a must improve. I honestly don't know who would give it over a consecutive amount of games. Again, 5 games is a lot to judge by, in my opinion. It's hard to pick a must improve within 5 games because you just know that at certain times players are playing well and other times players are playing poorly. And we did end up going undefeated this week, which means a lot of players did contribute in many different ways. The 6th man of the week for me is a very easy one. I'm going to pick Io DeSumo. Again, he had a lot of responsibility on the defensive end this week, guarding players like Bradley Beal, guarding players like Trae Young, Karis LeVert. These types of players that are clearly their best guards for their respective teams, and they did have strong games, but I slowed a lot of those guys down, and that's the responsibility of a rookie, ladies and gentlemen. He comes in, he provides energy, he sticks in front of players, and he makes it very difficult for them. You don't stop those players, but you can slow them down and make life very difficult. Make them have to make a decision on the floor that's going to make it a very tough decision to make. Make them make tough decisions, and if they get the right decision, then great. That's what elite players do. But sometimes they make the wrong decisions, leads to an easy point, an easy fast break, easy stuff for the Chicago Bulls. Io was really tremendous on the defensive end today, defensive end this week, and he truly deserves the 6th man of the week for the Chicago Bulls. And the player of the week, at the end of the day, I think if this was any other time for the Chicago Bulls, we would probably be saying Nikola Vucevic had a good shout for player of the week. Zach LaVine had a really strong week as well, unbelievably strong week. But DeMar DeRozan just ended up making this week, I think, for a lot of people. Absolutely phenomenal stuff in the last 2 games, and he's personally going to be my player of the week. There's no other reason outside of he was very good in the game against Atlanta both times. He had a really good game against the Indiana Pacers the first time around, even though, again, the Indiana Pacers did a great job in guarding DeMar DeRozan. Yeah, he scores a buzzer beater over them the first time, beats them comfortably in the other time as well, and then he does the dagger against the Wizards as well. Easily, in my opinion, he's the player of the week. Looking at the next week for the Chicago Bulls, we have 2 games to look forward to. As I said before, a much lighter week for the Chicago Bulls. Starting off with the game against the Orlando Magic at home, ladies and gentlemen. This game, we should hopefully see Lonzo Ball Alfonso McKinney, Tony Bradley, and potentially Alex Caruso return. Hopefully we get to see Javonte Green as well in this game, and I don't think we'll see Tyler Cook, just considering that he did roll his ankle. So it's a big game for the Chicago Bulls, where we get to see a lot of these players return for the team, and we can finally look to build on a healthy roster for the Chicago Bulls. And then we have a game against the Washington Wizards, almost a week apart from this game against the Orlando Magic. It's a few days to say the least, and this is the time for the Chicago Bulls where they can get their well-earned rest. The game against Orlando is going to be a tough game because we did have 5 games in 7 days. But after that game, we get to rest up, we get to train a little bit, get to work on the game, get to work on the conditioning of the players that are returning, and we should have a fully well-rested team to face the Washington Wizards again. And hopefully the players that do return, hopefully the players that we do see in this game will be the reason that we can hopefully have a much better game this time around against the Washington Wizards. Thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you watch these videos every week, I'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen. If not, we will have more videos to come very soon on this channel. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.